Hey, what's up guys? This is Mike from Garage Junkie Apparel. Just want to do an introduction video, try to get this whole video thing started, let you know a little bit about us, what we're doing and where we're headed. But first, just a little bit about me. You know, I'm a bit obsessed, you know, I'm completely obsessed with anything that burns fuel and or rubber. I absolutely love, you know, motorcycles and cars and Jeeps, trucks. I love trucks. You know, it's just something that I've kind of always been obsessed with. You know, driving around as a kid, I was always dreaming about what car I wanted to own first at a very young age. And it kind of doesn't make any sense because my parents weren't into cars. They just weren't. They had a car they paid very little for and they drove it to the grocery store and home. You know, that's all we used the car for, was that. It was just an appliance. So I don't know, for some reason I just got the bug and I loved looking at different cars, you know, muscle cars, hot rods, you know, souped up cars, you know, whatever. It was a thing. I was obsessed. And then motorcycles, you know, I love motorcycles. I love to ride. And it was just this crazy huge obsession as a kid. And it kind of carried on, you know, when I started driving. You know, when I was 16. And from the point that I had one car, you know, from 16 to 17. And then when I was 17, I had like 12 that year. And then when I was 18, I don't know, it just took off. I stopped counting after 80. I've had cars, it was early. I got a 1931 Chevy that's pieces I'm gonna try to put together. It's in a pile over here in my garage. And then, you know, newest vehicle I have, I think, is a 2007 Chevy pickup, my appliance, my current appliance. You know, I don't know, man. I just totally, completely obsessed with you know, stuff that happens in the garage. You know, working on your cars and wrenching and everything. And because I've just never really felt like paying somebody to do something I felt I could do myself. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, so I went to trade school. I learned how to work on cars. It was kind of easy. You know, the old man was like, why don't you work on cars? You like cars. Why don't you do it as a job? Yeah, I tried it. Yeah, I worked at a Chevy dealership for, I don't know, 6 months. And it was cool. You know, I got to change oil on a bunch of newish cars and even then some really crappy old ones. You know, I mean, it was kind of cool, you know, to work on a couple of cars and everything. It just wasn't my thing. And then a guy I worked with, you know, he was like a part of a binders club, you know, International Scout Club. You know, I was in Colorado. The 4x4s are pretty big up there. And, you know, he said he knew a guy that had one for like $800. So I went and borrowed a loan, a signature loan when I was 18 to go get this piece of crap International Scout 800. And it ran. Good, you know, for $800. You can't buy that car now for $800. You know, it had a 266 V8, and then it had a twin stick differential, so I could select, you know, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, or both. It was a pretty cool little thing. No top, no doors. Oh, it's just a pretty cool truck. So then I decided I wanted a back seat for it. For some reason, there wasn't one in it. You know, the floors are rusting out. I had to replace the floors, and then I wanted a seat. So I went and somebody had a seat for sale, and I ran into this dude who had the same truck. Like, really? Dude, let's go check it out. So I followed him over to his house. Yeah, I know it's weird. Followed over to his house, and he gave me a roll bar. And then I saw that he was doing stuff in his garage, and he showed me around. He was making cool, like, off-road stuff, like bumpers and, you know, doing lift kits and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I was hooked. And I was like, hey man, you think I could do some of this work with you or whatever? And he kind of taught me how to weld a little bit. Now, mind you, I started welding when I was roughly 8. And by started, meaning I struck the first spark. My grandpa told me, you know, to drag a stick rod across his trailer he was building. It was pretty cool. And I say it's the spark that started it all. And now I weld for a living. I mean, that's what I do. So anyway, this dude taught me how to weld, and I just started getting into, you know, more modification stuff, you know, 4x4s and stuff. And then, you know, it was back when I was in Colorado, and then I had, you know, to move. I decided to move away from Colorado and go to some sunshine, really hot sunshine in Phoenix, Arizona, and which is where I still reside. And I just, the scene around here is ridiculous. You know, there's a crazy amount of different genres, if you will, of car owners. You know, you got the pavement pounders, the guys that love to jack their trucks to the sky and never take them on the dirt. Like, they wash them every other day, which is cool. I don't judge. You know, and then you got the guys that drive, you know, the Hondas that are souped up, that are super quick and loud and crazy. And then, you know, but the one group of guys that I just totally dug was all these guys scraping the concrete and the pavement, the lowered cars, and I just got obsessed at that point. So then I started, you know, lowering everything I would buy instead of raising everything. So four-wheel drive was out. I was buying everything two-wheel drive and just lowering the crap out of it. And then I think my first lowered vehicle was like a 66 Bug that I had put drop spindles on or something. And then after that, I had, I think it was a 61 Volkswagen, another one, single cab that was super rad. I lowered the absolute crap out of that and drove it. It was a pretty cool truck. And then after that, I had my 97 Chevy pickup that was my utility vehicle. And then I decided, you know, one day I was gonna bag and body drop it, in which case I did. And then I don't know, I was just kind of hooked from there. You know, I just love lowering the crap out of my stuff. I love modifying stuff. And if I could modify it, well, I do modify just about everything that I own. You know, I bought a new Harley, a 2011 Harley back in 2011, and I think I had it for a month before I completely tore it apart and repainted it and bobbed it a little bit, got rid of some unnecessary gadgets, turn signals, I think they call them. I took those off the bike and just did a bunch of weird stuff. But anyway, so after all this crap, you know, I've owned a lot of vehicles, a lot of motorcycles and everything, and I kind of saw myself buying these clothes that I wasn't really agreeing with, you know, still wearing Hurley t-shirts. I think they were still available. I was still wearing them either way. And you know, Fox t-shirts or, you know, all that off-road brand stuff. You know, I had a few dirt bikes back in the day. So whatever stuff I was wearing while I was doing that, you know, and it didn't seem right to me to spend 25 bucks on a t-shirt that I'm gonna ruin crawling underneath the car, because I'm always crawling underneath something. And you never change when you're like, oh, I gotta go out to the garage real quick. I don't know, maybe some of you do. I don't. I just jump right underneath it, and then I'm like, oh crap, you know, I got this crazy stupid stain now on my green t-shirt. You can definitely see that at a car show, you know, 3 cars down or whatever, you know. So it just didn't make sense to me. So I started buying black shirts, and then to buy black shirts with a cool design other than, you know, some crazy logos. I don't know. I'm kind of a simple dude. So I had these ideas to kind of print my own shirts, but then I had to figure out, well, what was I going to print? You know, what was my name going to be? And then I kind of did a brainstorm session with myself, and I don't know. I'm always in the garage. So, okay, so what's something with the garage? If somebody's always doing something, they're a junkie, right? So that's where the name came from. I just thought, you know, I'm a garage junkie. I got to be out in the garage. And, you know, we print on black shirts for obvious reasons. They don't show stains. You know, they kind of do, but they hide most massive stains when you're crawling in and out of your cars at a car show, so you can't see them, you know, quarter mile away or whatever. And so we decided that's what we're gonna do. And then I got my brother-in-law involved, and he's a pretty rad dude, and he started coming up with some crazy designs. He's a really good artist. You know, this dude Johnny Chops, you can catch him on Instagram. He builds some cool cars too. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, he's my brother-in-law. He's a pretty cool dude. And you know, so he's a really good artist, and we kind of collaborated. I had the name, but I wasn't really good at artwork. All the artwork I did was in Microsoft Paint. It wasn't even that good, to tell you the truth. He had Photoshop, and he was doing some cool stuff. You know, whatever he's doing, I don't know how to use that crap. So then I started working with him, and he did some really cool designs. You know, he did this one here. What was that, 3 or 4 years ago now? I think the last time I was printing shirts. But anyway, So he's involved with that, and even so much involved. Back when we were starting to get pretty big, a few years ago, he spent a whole week of his vacation just hanging out and printing shirts on his vacation in my garage, which is pretty cool. But I appreciate it, I'm not the only one involved here. He definitely put his weight in there, and he's definitely in there. He's behind the scenes, and maybe we'll get him on camera one of these days. But anyway, now that I got Johnny on board, we were definitely in for the long haul, and we decided start going to more car shows, start going to swap meets and everything, and we were doing good. But then life happens. It does for everybody. Everyone has life, I assume. If you're watching this, you have some sort of life. But we got stuff going on, and some things happened. We had to back away from our t-shirt business, and we, just kind of started running out of stock. Stopped going to shows and swap meets. Stuff happened. But you know what? We're back, and we're gonna stay here, and we're gonna do videos. We're gonna, be posting on Instagram all the time. We're gonna be posting on Facebook, on YouTube, and all kinds of crazy stuff. I want to do some contests. I want to do some more interviews of the people that are watching this. People on Facebook. If you got a really cool car, if you think your car is cool, man, I want to see it, and I want to know why you do what you do, and really know more about you, your car, how you built it, who worked on it. How much horsepower it does, how much horsepower it doesn't have. Whether it's a Yugo or a scooter or a Vespa or a big Harley custom classic crazy beast or a big old lifted truck on 48s, how big of tires they make now. Anyway, I want to know more about you guys. And the way that'll work is if we do an interview together and we do a photo shoot, we shoot some video, get you on YouTube, and I want to put your car on a shirt, just like this one. I want to put your car there, and I will give you a free shirt for letting me take a picture of your car. I don't know, I think that's kind of neat. It's pretty cool. If you're into that sort of thing, you can message us on Facebook, you can message us on Instagram, or you can comment on YouTube. But hey, if you like what we're doing, if you like where we're headed, you like what we're about to do, stay tuned, stay stoked. I'll see you on the road. And don't forget, like and subscribe. We like to see you around. All right, you guys, take it easy.